Hello, this is I, a whisper, the god of the demigod, the god, the demigod of Confucianism. Confusion? I think that's it. Anytime anything makes sense for me, it only makes me more confused. You could call that a curse, blessing. For some people it's a blessing, for some it's a curse. I hope y'all are doing good out there, as I am. Maybe even better. Life's been pretty good for me. Got to do quite a few things. Maybe it's doing pretty good for y'all. As I lay back, once again, on the FTP, For Truth Podcast, episode 6, I have had a lot of time to think about where this is going and what I want to do with this. And I think it's more like I don't know. Don't want to put a label on it. I don't think labels are, I don't think labels are good. I think they limit things greatly. And I wouldn't go that route. Really, I like to, not even I. You ever try to like spend a whole day without using the word I? That can get very trippy indeed. Because then it's like, who's entertaining who? That's what it's really about. Or you could cut out the word it, and you'll find yourself hiccuping in every single thought because you use the word it so much. I got myself to quit smoking though. Cigarettes, that is. I still love my hookah. This is this is pristine. Pristine goodness. Goodliness. It's kind of pretty cool though. Practicing surrendering to what is best for me. Instead of trying to fight it or push against it, whatever it is, genuinely, I can tell if something will help me or not. Whether or not my feelings agree with it or not, you let them be right. You don't fight it. You take the I out of the situation. Now, something I do wish, putting the I back in the situation, I wish that people had more hobbies. I wish people did stuff with their life. Like, what do you, what do you, what is fun to you? Kind of question. And everyone, for the most part, everyone's just got a cookie cutter answer. It's very disappointing. I recently took like a 3 day break where I just played video games all day and did as much nothing as possible. And it was weird because ultimately all it did was refill my desire to do this podcast and to make music and to follow on my dreams instead of, becoming lazier, going down that rabbit hole of just mindless comfort. I really think it's important. I don't even should say it is important to keep your life simple, to keep it manageable, to not have so much stuff going on that if you try to hold it all up, it's just constantly falling. You're having to hold up all these, like, all this junk, and then shit keeps falling. You have to keep grabbing it as it's falling. That's not fun. Not fun at all. But I mean, if you're listening, you should check out my music. I make music. If you have any tips, compliments, I'd love to interact with anyone. It's been quite the journey. I do everything in my room from scratch. I like to have fun. My kind of fun is really just anything creative, something from scratch, turning nothing and then showing all that it is. Because there's always so much something inside of nothing. In many Hindu cultures and stuff, or Buddhism and all that kind of stuff, in the Eastern world, it's nothing. The void is actually seen as God. The ultimate higher power. That's why in Hebrew there wasn't a word for God, because God, you couldn't put a label on him. He was that which was without form. He was like, yeah, nothing. That's kind of like the be like water concept, to adapt. And so the more something you are, the more stuck in a ridge you'll find yourself. And the more nothing you are, the more who, be more who. Who am I? Be more lose. The more you lose who you thought you were, the more you were free. It's the Tyler Durden quote. Until we lose everything, it is not until we lose everything that we are free to do anything. Truly, truly. I think that is a very good quote. Because, I mean, there's a lot of truth to it. Not even just a little bit, there's quite a bit. Life's very mysterious, very complicated. But sometimes you just gotta keep on, not even keep on keeping on. It's more like there's a quote where it's like, my head is bloody but unbowed. I love it because, I don't know, I think that true beauty is found amidst great pain. For everyone likes the underdog more than the victor. I love it. I think it's life's more about just finding what makes you happy, what floats your boat, kind of thing. What allows you to spread your wings, so to say, and not necessarily fly, but like, man, if you're not enjoying yourself, if you're not finding peace in the hard spots of life, like a concept I heard about the other day that I loved was, who's to say that the blissful, mystical, paradoxal revelation you get if you were to go on some great journey to get to this spot where you think all your problems will be answered, who's to say that that feeling of revelation can't exist wherever you're at. I think it can. I really do. Because I find that the less that I identify with things, more open I am to being revelated to anything and everything. And I find myself having some simple, like someone will say hi to me, and it will just be the most mind blowing, what? Hi, how are you? Like, just unexpected, blissful thing that ever happened in my day. And it just makes my day. I think that, I don't even, I think, I believe. I like that a lot more than I think. I believe there's a time to use both of those. They're on occasions. But who knows for real? For sure. No one does. No one. No one knows. What's for truth? That's my bloody name. Like, crazy. Crazy. I don't know. But I do. That's the crazy thing. I know that I don't know. But then it's like you get rid of the I, and you forget that you know that you don't. And then suddenly you'll find yourself knowing things that you always knew, that you thought you didn't know. I think it's very fun to, I think, see, I'm still stuck up in the gutters of personality myself. I think personality can be a beautiful thing, though. It's not necessary. I don't believe it's good to reject anything 100%. I believe it's wise to look at everything like it has something to offer, no matter what it is. Everything's got something to offer. Everything. And through looking at through the right angle, or the right perspective, or the certain perspective, maybe not even the right one, that would be a good word. I'd say that some certain perspective, no matter what it is, there's always a way that will give you that revelation. It'll make it click for you. You just got to be open to it. And in the words of Alan Watts, we're always one thought away from being alive. One thought away. Because you're always thinking. People love, I mean, love, people love to pretend that they can't stop thinking. It's phenomenal to me. Because all you gotta do is just chill the fuck out. Stop. Just shut the fuck up inside your head. And you'll find yourself in paradise. It's literally that easy. Before I do another podcast, I'm going to meditate. And I'm going to talk about, I'm going to do some good meditation. I'm going to talk about the experiences of that because I've been meaning to do that. It's just something I don't take seriously, that seriously. I mean, who wants to sit still? Like, fucking, my brain's really good at persuasion. And I can persuade myself to not do things with great intelligence. I found myself having to be careful because without, if I do not use myself as a tool of good without even trying, I'll turn into a tool for bad. I don't think gray exists. I think it's always black and white. No such thing as gray. Gray is just confusion. And that's where most of us find ourselves. As I do. It can be very hard to accept things sometimes. Very hard. Some people find it very hard to. Well, some people are very stubborn, quote unquote, ignorant. A lot of people are. I mean, I am too. Fudge. I think a way to get past that is to, as I said, to allow yourself to surrender. You have to allow yourself to be wrong. I mean, literally, every single time I was ever wrong in my life, and I accepted that I was wrong, I only became better and more right. And so, why wouldn't you want to try that? Just try to, yeah, not take accountability or none of that bullshit, but just surrender. Surrender to the best part of yourself, the heart inside of you, the love. Surrender to it. Believe that it has your best intention. Believe that it wants to do nothing but help. Because that's truly what it wants. It's what you want. It's shocking, isn't it? Maybe. I think so many people. There's this famous quote where it's like, "We accept the love we believe we deserve. We think we deserve." And so, a lot of people, including me, will hold back. Will hold back on the love that they allow themselves to feel, so they don't think they deserve it. And it's the silliest thing. I've had some trips where I literally couldn't comprehend just or even begin to fathom how stubborn I was at receiving my own heart or other people's heart because it had to align with this identity of mine. And if it didn't line up with who I thought I was, I would push it away. And I found myself left with this little pebble of love that was exactly what I wanted it to be. The only bad part was that it was literally a pebble. And sure, it meant everything to me, but that's. It's like taking a grain of sand off the beach and being like, this grain of sand is perfect. This grain of sand is me. This is my identity. This is who I am. I'm gonna stick to this grain of sand. That way I always feel like I belong somewhere and I am this continuous self and I'll never die because this grain of sand is that's everything about me. And if you don't worship this grain of sand, then you don't love me. And it's like the what the fuck do you know? That's it. To be honest, it's a pretty dumb way of looking at things. Because you are a grain of sand, sure, but you are all the grains of sand. You are the entire beach, and so if you can, the more you lose your identity, the more you could be like the beach, and then the more there's all the grains of sand would represent all these different personalities, these different ideologies, these different beliefs, opinions, uh, actions, whatever things, all of it, everything. And so the more you can see yourself in everything that has to do with that beach, you'll feel a lot more loved. I promise you that. Like, for example, I've been watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's like, I always find myself, there's this hard question of like, is this video entertaining enough? Should I try to do something different? Or, what can I do? And at the end of the day, it's like, no, no, fuck all that. I want to do me. Because I could honestly care less. Partially, honestly. There's always the ego in me. No matter how much I deny it, it still exists. Learning to incorporate it is similar to learning how to incorporate your shadow. I think it's good to have a plan to do such things, to write it down. Did you know that if you write it down, if you write something down, you are 7 times more likely to act on it just by writing it down. You are 7 times more likely to act on it. And so if you ever find yourself wanting to do something and you don't even have the time or courage or discipline to just put that shit on a piece of paper, like, come on now. It's not that hard. I wish people would ask more questions in the comments. Because if you asked questions, then if you like, I could answer them. I love answering questions. I do love answering questions. I think a good podcast idea would be to like ask Chat GPT or have it ask me questions, and then I think that would be a good. That'd be pretty entertaining. I believe so. I'm working on a album of sorts though. It's called The Hanged Man because I died. I see myself as, I know tarot cards are like some bullshit, but in some sense it is kind of real. It's as real as you make it. And well, my tarot cards are the Mother and the Hanged Man, and so yeah, they fit me pretty well, I believe. You gotta do stuff in free time. Get off that social media. Get off your phone. Just get off your fucking phone. I swear. And then maybe, if you got off your phone, you'd realize that your environment sucks ass. And then maybe that would motivate you, which Jordan Peterson, to clean your room. And then suddenly you find yourself taking care of yourself. And it's like, deleting TikTok was one of the best things I ever did. And then not only that, it's reminding myself that you gotta remember to remember, kind of thing. If you try to hold it, you will lose it. If you try to change it, you ruin it. That's why true love, eternal bliss, you can't hold on to it. You also can't try to change it. You have to let it be. You have to accept it as it is at all times. And so that means letting any possible moment be a moment of love and bliss, no matter how it manifests. And the more you're open to that, the more you may just begin to see the gates of heaven broaden for you. If you make your gates of heaven this narrow, narrow path, where, like, for example, let's say it would be you're fat and you want to lose weight. I'm not saying make the gates of heaven so wide that you can enter heaven as a 300-pound man or woman. Not that kind of way. The gates of heaven would widen in the sense that losing weight, you could lose weight because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself and you hate how you look and you want to change. Lose weight because you want to be healthy, you want to feel good, you don't want to carry 200, 150 pounds around all day. That shit's heavy. For me, personally, it would be unmade decisions. I carry a lot of unmade decisions around all the time, and that is, they weigh me down a lot. And I find that the more I make these decisions, and the more disciplined I am to stick through with it, the more confidence I get. And you can't fake confidence. No such thing. Then you just find yourself stuck in a world of arrogance. And you go long enough, you'll turn into a prick. And I can promise you, nobody likes an arrogant prick. You gotta let go of shit, though. Really. You just gotta let it be perfect. And bloody, it gets so perfect. So perfect, so beautiful, and so mystical. Literally, like it's the more I grow up, the more I realize how psychedelic waking up can truly get. Because, like, you'll have some dream, and then you'll wake up, and you're like, the less you identify with yourself, the more it feels like you're just simply swapping dreams, and you're not actually waking up into this reality. You're just going from one dream to another dream. This dream is just real, and quote unquote real, in a different sense than your dream was. And kind of like a lucid dream, that's kind of what like this is, just in a different sense. I love how amazing it is whenever I give up the belief that I know how things work. It's like the universe, like all of this, if you try to think you know how it's gonna work, it steps back and it's like, okay, you know how it works? You have fun with that. And, you know, hello, anxiety. Hello, overthinking. Hello, worrying. Hello, stress. And if you believe that the universe is love and it has your best interest in heart, and the universe wants the best for you, and it is actively doing everything that it can to give you the most mystical, blissful, entrancing life possible, or whatever window you want to peer out of, whatever it may be. Maybe it's materialism, maybe it's money, maybe it's love, maybe it's a job, maybe it's your career. But if you allow yourself to believe that the universe wants to give these things to you, and you get out of your own way, you stop trying to prove yourself right to something, and you let the universe be right, and then you see yourself, you lose your identity, so you become one with the universe. In a sense, In the words of Miyamoto Musashi, you learn how to get out of your own way, and then that's when you can start to see the way broadly. And it's like, yeah, it really works. It's worked for me. I mean, I used to be homeless, and I would have nothing that I have now if it wasn't for me getting out of my own way and just surrendering to that which was best for me, to what the universe thought was best for me. And what it showed me, I was like, hey, it sticks this in front of your face, and you're like, okay, fine. I guess I'll do it. Kind of like meditating. I watched a podcast the other day where Duncan Trussell was talking about his meetings with Ram Dass and how meditation is a real kick in the gut when you start doing it every day. And I've just been pondering that, but then I also understand that you shouldn't force yourself to do anything, so I haven't really meditated because I don't want to force myself to do it. But I'm at a point where, or I shouldn't say you could explain it this way. There is a point where you no longer view what you want, what to do through the perspective of your feelings, and you see what to do through the perspective of what is love. And then the more you can begin to look through that perspective, the more you can start being one with the universe, one with love. And then you can start finding yourself being a kind person, or just being charitable, or being good hearted in an act of giving for no particular reason. You just are that way. And it's nice. You're not trying to prove yourself wrong or show why this that you did was bad, or why you're, judging yourself and all that smearing shit all over yourself kind of concept. You don't want to do that. No one likes that. Just take a deep breath. Stop using the word I so much. Every time you want to say it, explain what it is before you say it. That way you don't say it. You find yourself in a state of clarity, much better. And use less use. And basically speak with clarity. It's pretty hard to do. You can do it though. But that's gonna conclude this episode of the FTP solo episode. I hope you all enjoyed listening. Remember to take it easy, take it loving. The universe embraces you. You are a goddamn beach, and the sun is setting, and it is warm on your skin. Never forget that. Namaste.